So who exactly was Jane Austen? Revolutionary social critic, a hopeless romantic, or a semi-successful writer who never married? Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775, in a small village in Hampshire, England. Her father was an Anglican rector, and though their family was not wealthy, they were well respected. Jane's childhood was full of creativity. She wrote stories and plays, many of which she coerced her sister Cassandra to help her perform for the rest of the Austen household. By age 14, she had written the stories that would later be known as Love and Friendship. These early works showcased Jane's wit, satire, and foreshadowed the masterpieces that were yet to be written. At age 19, Jane read the first draft of Sense and Sensibilities to her family. Unfortunately, this manuscript would not be printed for another decade. When Jane was 20, a young man moved in next door, Tom Lefroy, a nephew of the Austens' family friend. The two had a year of friendship, but to many Austenites' dismay, Jane and Tom most likely did not have a swoon-worthy relationship as seen in this film, Becoming Jane. Tom soon moved back to London and Jane never saw him again. Coincidentally, Jane started writing her arguably most popular novel, First Impressions, later known as Pride and Prejudice. Was it influenced by her possible feelings for Tom Lefroy? Maybe. Jane's father, George, soon started trying to get her early manuscripts published. The first manuscript was returned due to lack of post. In reality, it was not accepted because George kept Jane's obviously female name on it. This was just the beginning of Jane's rocky road towards becoming a published author. After a few years of George networking persistently, her satirical Gothic novel, Northanger Abbey, successfully sold its copyright for £10. The publishers had promised that they were going to be printing it in a timely manner, but broke their word and never published it. When Jane was 25, her family moved to Bath. Not much is known about the Austens' lives in Bath, except for that Harris Bigwither proposed to Jane. Jane immediately accepted his offer because it made financial sense. But she did change her mind the following day because she truly did not love Harris. This dilemma would later show up in her novels. In 1805, George Austen suddenly died. George and Jane were very close and his death shocked her. She stopped writing for 5 years. After her writing hiatus ended, Jane's luck finally began to change. In 1811, 15 years after the first draft was complete, Jane's first novel, Sense and Sensibilities, was published. Sense and Sensibilities was received favorably by both reviewers and the general public. By 1813, the first edition had sold out. That same year, her publishers agreed to publish Pride and Prejudice. The second novel was immensely popular, and within 8 months they were printing a second edition. The following year, Mansfield Park was published. All three novels were popular amongst the literate populace and, to Jane's dismay, the higher class. Because of the support, Emma was written and quickly published. Now, at age 40, and with 4 successful novels, Jane's health began to decline. Her brother bought back the copyright to Northanger Abbey, and Jane finished her 6th novel, Persuasion. Her illness soon took so much energy that she was confined to her bed. Jane reportedly made light of her condition up until she passed away. Jane Austen died on July 18, 1817, at age 41. The following December, her siblings published Northanger Abbey and Persuasion post-mortem. Her nephew, James Austen, soon published a memoir of the life of Jane Austen, but it was not for a few more decades until scholars found Jane's letters and the puzzle of her life was put together. Jane Austen was born poor, did not have a full education, battled misogyny with her pen and her voice, and struggled to find publishers who would take the risk of printing books written by a woman. 200 years later, and her novels have been adapted to books, movies, television shows, and even YouTube series. Her words resonate with people from all walks of life. Austen's life was full of struggle. So what can we learn from Austen's life? Persevere and share your story. Just because one door closes does not mean there is no other possibility.